Hiya, I'm Susan Weeks and I make it easy for successful female service professionals to build their reputation as an expert and market their business by harnessing the power of their own podcast. So, if that's you, in a nutshell, I help you shine above a sea of suits. And professional services, so we're talking about lawyers, accountants, architects, IT consultants, etc., etc., etc. And I've been in that environment for a long time. I worked in IT, very male dominated. Lots of other of those professional services are too. So, and do you know what? There are fewer podcasts in those business areas. There are fewer interesting podcasts in those business areas. And in general, there are fewer female podcasters. So I see an excellent opportunity to tap into podcasting for female service professionals and to really stand out and shine your expertise, your personality and your business. And other than that, do you know what? It's a whole load of fun. And let's face it, those ladies were pretty good at communicating and having conversations. So it's a win-win-win-win-win-win-win. Now, what I'd like to share today is 7 reasons that you personally can benefit from having a podcast for your business. So when I'm talking about podcasting with my business friends or, well, really anyone else who'll listen, of course, then the question soon turns to, well, why bother? Why bother podcasting? So to answer that, and in no particular order, I've got 7 reasons where you would personally benefit from having a podcast for your business. And at the end of the day, even if you're starting off something new, then creating a podcast around it is an excellent way of getting some traction and making some progress. Now, obviously, I started my own podcast the end of last July in the area of textile art. So I had no existing audience. I had a few friends, it's a hobby of mine, but I had no audience, and it's grown really, really well. So I'm on over 12,000 downloads now. So who'd have thought so many people would be interested in textile art? But there you are. So it's a great way to start something new off as well. So first of all, you are building authority and a unique perspective. So having a podcast for your business gives you a format, a method to be able to share your experience and share your expertise. And not only that, it enables you to do that with your unique perspective from your unique personality. You are you. So your enthusiasm for your subject, your enthusiasm for helping others, or whatever it is that you do, really will come across very powerfully in audio. And really, that is so much harder to do when you're writing. So these aspects all develop authority for you within your particular business area, and by regularly sharing insights and help and information, then your potential clients and customers will feel that you know what you're doing. And then when they are ready to actually spend some money on the particular service that you perform and offer, then you will stand out as being the one that they want to go to spend that money. The second reason I have here is that you are developing a personal connection with your audience. So everything's revolving these days around that personal connectivity, building those relationships. So when you have a podcast, your voice is in your listener's head, and that really does create a powerful connection. And because with a podcast you're committed to a schedule, really, is this something that you're going to be doing regularly, then that creates familiarity over time. So your listeners feel that they personally know you. So it's a very personal way of connecting with new people and potential clients. And listening to your podcast will also help them remember you. It will help you stand out so much more and become memorable from podcasting. So I made that comment about standing out in a sea of suits. So if you're that female professional architect or accountant or lawyer or real estate agent or IT consultant who has that interesting and engaging podcast, you will stand out. So you will stand out above that, as I said, that sea of suits. And another point is that remember too that people like to learn in different ways. So providing your help and insights in a different format in audio is attractive to people who prefer that format. Some people prefer to look and learn, some people to move, others prefer to listen or read. So you're providing your information and your content in a different format to appeal to more people. The other thing as well, of course, is that videos can be inconvenient. They can be annoying in several circumstances where audio has a great benefit. So there's another particular reason why it helps. So as you look at creating your content, you will discover that actually having a podcast is a great way to create engaging and interesting content. You are releasing episodes on a regular and consistent basis, and you need to do that to create growth. So you have the magic of a deadline to create your content. And do you know what? Creating audio content is typically much easier than writing as well. Yes, you still need to prepare, but a natural flow is easier to achieve with a podcast. Well, certainly I find that. And let's not get hung up about that perfection thing either. It really doesn't have to be so perfect. And particularly if you're running an interview-based podcast or you have a co-host, then it's a lot more fun having somebody to talk to and chatting with them about your particular subject that you both love. It's a lot more fun than sitting at your keyboard wondering which word to choose next. Well, again, I found it is. So every episode, this is a really important point. Everyone's talking about content creation at the moment, aren't they? So, and then we all think, what am I going to write about? What content am I going to create? The thing about being engaged in a regular podcast is that every episode is creating content and ideas for you. So that content can then be repurposed and recycled into lots of other different types of content. So it could go into an ebook, or you have some more detailed blog posts, or edit it down into little chunks and make a simple video with images to match the soundtrack. Take quotes and find a nice image, and you've got the opportunity to use your own relevant quotes, things that you or your guest said, not some other recycled thing from somebody else's head out of somebody else's quotation library website. Audiograms is another thing I've been playing around with, so that's where we can take the snippets and put an image behind it, and it creates a video of the audio track with these waveforms, very much like these Facebook Live audios do. So there's something else to share. So if you sit down and have a 15-minute podcast every week or half hour with a guest or something, then from that, several hours worth of content can be created from that one act of half an hour that you've put in there. Other things that it creates is you can create something like a top 10 list or an ebook, or lots of other information can spin out of your podcast to be able to generate a lead capture opt-in, lead magnet, etc. Again, it's coming from original material created from your podcast. So this is Susan Weeks, and I'm just going through 7 reasons why you benefit from podcasting in your business. Again, these are personal benefits, not business benefits, although quite often if we're a solopreneur, then they're very much one and the same thing. Another aspect of having a podcast is that you learn from other like-minded souls. So particularly if you have guests on your podcast, then you are going to learn more on your mutual subject. The more you talk about something, you develop in ideas, experience, and you will also be thinking about things from alternative viewpoints as well, which is also a useful skill. And in terms of learning from other like-minded souls, there is a whole community built around podcasting where you can meet new people, share ideas, learn new ones, all around the actual subject of having your own podcast. So 2 aspects to it there. And while we're talking about connecting with people, then another really good benefit from you having your own podcast is that you're going to grow your audience, your network, and make new friends. So by promoting your podcast on social media, and anywhere you can, and by providing a unique voice and viewpoint of your subject area, then of course, and creating interesting shows, then you will be able to attract a growing audience. That's not just the audience for your podcast, is it, though? You are growing an audience for you and your business as a whole. People call it like growing your platform. You have a different opportunity to grow your list. And, well, who doesn't want to do that? So people will be encouraged to find out much more about you and will connect with you, and that therefore will grow your professional network as well. And in amongst all of that, you will connect more deeply with some people and make some, proper friends with them, sharing mutual goals and possibly new opportunities. I've grown my podcast Stitchery Stories as a showcase of my podcasting portfolio, but I've also grown an audience and a list of fans for the show, and that was totally from scratch. So now I've got lots of friends within the textile art community who I'm engaging with, particularly on Instagram, I have to say. So it's a great place for doing that. But new opportunities will grow out of that, of a totally new audience for me of textile artists. So with the podcast, you are very much going to be building future opportunities. I know a lot of other podcast hosts, and they've all talked to highlight the opportunities that have come their way once they start podcasting. And amazingly, it's opportunities very often that they hadn't even thought about as a possibility previously. It's a brilliant way of discovering if there's a demand there for something that you could create maybe a paid course or a coaching program around. And to be honest, I find it's very invigorating. You can be very invigorated with fresh ideas and different perspectives that could erupt into a book, for example. So you also become in demand as a guest expert, and you'll often get invitations onto other podcasts or being a guest blogger, and to be able to speak on both online conferences and off. So I've experienced quite a lot of those things, and a lot of my friends who've got podcasts as well have also done that. And this all snowballs, and you start to build confidence to grow and do more than you ever thought really possible to start off with. So that leads into my kind of last point really about the last reason. Well, it's not the last reason, but one of the last reasons I've noted is that you develop further business and leadership skills to support your growth. So many podcasters start off on their own, doing the podcast themselves, and they only do that for a while because then you realise actually you really do need some support and a team of some sort. Now, you may have escaped corporate life like I did and already have the experience of developing and leading a team, but this time, when you are a solopreneur or you've got a small business, then it's totally up to you. Everything is up to you, and you are not stuck in the middle of some kind of middle executive chain of command, which is rather freeing. So if you haven't done the team building and leadership thing before, maybe your career path has been very different, then this gives you an opportunity as well to, well, let's face it, get ready and start. So there's, in lots of ways, having a growing podcast will make you think about that next step in growth for you and your business, and how you're going to achieve it. How are you going to support your podcast as it becomes more successful? How are you going to support your business as it becomes more successful? So there's lots of ways you can do that. Obviously, you can hire the services of a project manager, online business manager, to kind of take the load off you, or develop the skills and have a go yourself, or hire an online specialist like me to help you get your podcast production improved to help you grow and realise the benefits from it to help grow your business as well. So there's a lot more to it than just picking up a microphone and talking. So the main thing about all of this, to wrap up, is the main thing is you have a massive choice of where to go, how to develop your podcast, how to develop your business, and kind of what to do next. And overall, my very heartfelt opinion is, from personal experience and from seeing a lot of friends with podcasts as well, is that podcasting is a fabulous opportunity for personal growth and development too. So particularly if you're one of those professional service ladies who are in a sea of suits, IT, architecture, lawyer, accountants, real estate agents, the list goes on, medical profession, then this really is a great, excellent opportunity for you to think about how you can shine above the suits and shine a light on your expertise and your personality and grow your business that way. So that's enough from me for today. Hope you all have a fantastic weekend. It's throwing it down outside at the moment, so hope it doesn't turn to snow, but it'd be nice to get some fresh air at some point. So there we are. Have a great weekend, and if you think about what a podcast could bring to you, then give me a shout, and I'm always very happy to have a chat with you and work out if podcasting is indeed a good way for you to move forward. So thanks very much, and I'll catch you all later. Bye.